The Midnight Encounter. In the heart of Willowbrook, a town nestled in the Appalachian Mountains, lay a forest. It was no ordinary forest, but one whispered about in hushed tones, a place where ancient oaks and gnarled roots held secrets of centuries long past. The townsfolk spoke of its eerie reputation with reverence and fear, sharing tales of spirits that wandered its depths and enchantments that lured unwary souls to their doom. At the age of 30, Emily Turner was the town's librarian. Her affinity for books bordered on the mystical, and her fingers danced over pages as if they held the secrets to the universe. But beneath her quiet demeanor, a restlessness stirred in her heart. The library, once a sanctuary, had become a cage. The town's annual Willowbrook Festival, a celebration of tradition and folklore, had lost its charm, with each year's festivities feeling like a repetitive melody. One fateful day, while sifting through the library's forgotten archives, Emily discovered an old, dusty journal. Its pages whispered with the scent of history, their faded ink revealing a hidden narrative. The journal spoke of a hidden treasure, buried deep within the forbidden forest that bordered Willowbrook. Its author, an anonymous and enigmatic figure, had left behind a trail of cryptic clues, each one tantalizingly pointing toward the heart of the forest. Emily's heart quickened as she deciphered the words, her fingers tracing the faded ink. The journal beckoned her into a world of mystery and adventure, a world beyond the library's hushed sanctuary and the monotony of her life. The prospect of the hidden treasure, with its promise of untold wonders and hidden treasures, ignited a spark within her. With a sense of resolve, Emily made a life-altering decision. She would venture into the forbidden forest under the silvery glow of the moon, seeking the truth behind the cryptic clues and the treasure that had eluded generations. As the world outside darkened, she became the heroine of her own story, stepping into the unknown to seek the adventure that had long eluded her. Midnight descended upon Willowbrook like a velvet cloak, and the town's streets lay silent. Emily Turner stood at the edge of the forbidden forest, her lantern casting a feeble glow that barely pierced the darkness. The night was alive with eerie whispers, as if the very trees conspired to dissuade her from her quest. She clutched the old journal tightly in her trembling hand, the weight of its secrets pressing against her chest. The cryptic clues etched into its pages beckoned her into the heart of the forest, promising untold wonders and hidden treasures. But there, in the shadow of ancient oaks and gnarled roots, doubt gnawed at her resolve. The forest was a world unto itself, a realm of perpetual twilight where the ordinary rules of nature seemed to blur. The townsfolk spoke of the forest's eerie reputation with hushed tones, warning of spirits that wandered its depths and enchantments that lured unwary souls to their doom. Emily had heard the tales since childhood, and as she took her first step beyond the threshold, she couldn't help but shiver. The path ahead was narrow and overgrown, the moonlight filtering through the canopy above in scattered beams. Each step echoed through the forest like a drumbeat, her lantern's flickering glow casting eerie shadows on the ancient trees. She felt like a trespasser in a realm that had long guarded its secrets. The journal, clutched in her hand, was her guide and her anchor. Its pages contained the first set of clues, cryptic riddles that promised to lead her closer to the hidden treasure. Emily's heart pounded as she deciphered the words, her fingers tracing the faded ink. "Follow the whispers of the night," she read aloud, her voice trembling. "Where the shadows dance and moonbeams take flight." The forest seemed to respond to her words, its rustling leaves and distant cries of owls taking on a haunting, almost melodic quality. She followed the path deeper into the forest, her lantern's light creating a small, wavering circle of safety in the enveloping darkness. As she walked, Emily's thoughts were a swirl of emotions. Excitement warred with fear, and doubt tugged at the corners of her determination. The forest's reputation for the supernatural weighed heavily on her mind, but the journal's promise of adventure beckoned her forward. The clues continued to guide her, each one leading her deeper into the forest's heart. She crossed a moss-covered bridge over a babbling brook, her lantern's glow reflecting in the water like a portal to another world. The forest's enchantment was palpable, and Emily couldn't deny the magic that seemed to infuse the very air she breathed. Hours passed, and Emily lost track of time as she followed the journal's riddles. She encountered eerie phenomena, a chorus of ghostly whispers, the flicker of strange lights in the distance, but her determination pushed her forward. The forest's secrets were slowly revealing themselves, and with each revelation, she felt a growing sense of connection to the ancient place. Finally, as the first hints of dawn painted the sky with soft hues of pink and gold, Emily reached a clearing in the forest. Before her stood a massive, ancient oak tree, its gnarled branches stretching toward the heavens. At its base, partially obscured by ivy, was a weathered stone marker. With trembling hands, Emily approached the marker and brushed away the ivy to reveal an inscription. It was the next clue, etched into the stone's surface. To find the treasure that's long been concealed, beneath the roots of the oak, the truth is revealed. Her heart raced with anticipation. The final leg of her journey lay before her, and the treasure she sought was tantalizingly close. Emily took a deep breath, her resolve renewed, and began to examine the base of the ancient oak, searching for the hidden chamber that the inscription alluded to. As the sun's first rays broke through the forest canopy, Emily's lantern's glow faded, but her determination burned brighter than ever. She was on the cusp of discovering a hidden world within the forest, a world of mystery, adventure, and untold treasures that had waited patiently for her to arrive. With the first rays of dawn kissing the horizon, Emily knelt beside the ancient oak, her fingers tracing the gnarled roots that clung to the forest floor like the fingers of a long-forgotten guardian. Her breath hung in the crisp morning air as she meticulously examined the base of the tree, searching for any sign of the hidden chamber the inscription had hinted at. The forest was alive with the soft symphony of birdsong, a stark contrast to the eerie silence of the previous night. Emily's lantern had dimmed to a mere glimmer, but the growing light of day made it no longer necessary. She couldn't help but feel a sense of urgency, the promise of hidden treasure, the mysteries of the forest, and her own determination fueled her quest. As she traced her fingers over the roots, she noticed a subtle irregularity. A small groove, almost imperceptible to the eye, ran along the base of the oak tree. Her heart quickened with excitement as she realized that this was more than mere chance. It was a deliberate mark left by the journal's author. Gently, Emily pressed her fingers into the groove, applying just enough pressure. With a soft, almost imperceptible click, the ground beneath her feet trembled. She stumbled back in surprise as the earth seemed to shift and the base of the tree slid away, revealing a hidden passageway below. The passage was narrow, and Emily hesitated for a moment before descending into the unknown. Her lantern illuminated the winding tunnel, its walls adorned with ancient moss-covered stones. The air was cool and damp, carrying with it the scent of earth and age. She felt as though she had stepped into another world, one untouched by the passage of time. As she ventured deeper into the subterranean passage, she noticed faint, ethereal markings on the walls, a script that seemed to glow with its own inner light. She couldn't decipher the language, but it left her with an eerie sense of being watched by unseen eyes. The tunnel's twists and turns seemed endless, and Emily lost track of time. It was as though the forest had swallowed her whole, and the passage was its secret tongue, whispering stories of the past and the treasure that lay ahead. Her determination remained unshaken, despite the growing weight of the earth above and the knowledge that she was descending into the heart of the forest's mysteries. Finally, the tunnel opened into a chamber, bathed in a soft golden light that seemed to emanate from the very walls. Emily's lantern's glow paled in comparison, and she extinguished it, allowing the chamber's radiance to envelop her. She had arrived at her destination, and her breath caught in her throat at what lay before her. In the center of the chamber stood an ornate pedestal upon which rested an ancient, weathered tome, the culmination of her journey. It was a book unlike any she had ever seen, bound in leather that bore the marks of centuries. As Emily approached, the book seemed to beckon her, its pages filled with the secrets of the forest and the treasure that had eluded so many. The final clue, etched into the pedestal, read, "To unlock the treasure that you seek, embrace the heart of the forest and let your spirit speak." With trembling hands, Emily opened the book, revealing pages filled with intricate illustrations and text that danced with otherworldly grace. The book seemed to come alive in her hands, its words and images shifting and rearranging themselves as though eager to share their secrets. As she began to read, Emily felt a profound connection to the forest and the mysteries it held. The words told the story of the forest's creation, of ancient guardians, and the power of nature itself. It spoke of the treasure not as a material wealth, but as the wisdom and knowledge of the forest, the true gift of the journey. With each page turned, Emily felt a profound transformation taking place within her. She was no longer the quiet librarian bound by routine, nor the hesitant traveler of the night before. She had become a part of the forest's story, a guardian of its secrets and a seeker of its wisdom. The journey was far from over, but Emily knew that she had unlocked the heart of the forest, and with it, the true treasure of her adventure. As the golden light bathed her in its embrace, she continued to read, her spirit speaking with newfound clarity and purpose, ready to embrace whatever challenges the forest still had in store. As Emily delved deeper into the ancient tome, the golden light in the chamber seemed to intensify, casting intricate patterns of shadows and brilliance upon the walls. The text and illustrations within the book pulsed with life, weaving a tapestry of tales that whispered secrets of the forest's history. The pages revealed a story of guardians, ethereal beings who had watched over the forest for generations. They were depicted as luminous, otherworldly figures with eyes that held the wisdom of the ages. Emily felt a deep connection to these guardians, as if they were guiding her journey from the shadows. The book spoke of the treasure as a source of unparalleled knowledge, a repository of the forest's history, the secrets of the natural world, and the wisdom of those who had ventured into its depths. Emily realized that the true wealth lay not in gold or jewels, but in the understanding and connection she was forging with the forest. As she continued to read, the text revealed the story of the journal's author, a nameless adventurer who had dedicated their life to uncovering the forest's mysteries. The author's passion and determination resonated with Emily, and she couldn't help but admire the kindred spirit who had set her on this path. The pages turned, and Emily found herself entranced by the author's journey. They had encountered supernatural beings, faced trials of courage, and overcome their own doubts and fears. Emily saw herself reflected in their struggles and triumphs, and she felt a growing sense of purpose in her own quest. The journal's author had ventured deep into the forest, discovering hidden groves, ethereal waterfalls, and ancient trees that seemed to pulse with life. They had encountered spirits of nature, guardians of the forest who tested their resolve and granted them wisdom in return. As Emily read, she realized that the forest was not a place to be feared, but revered, a sanctuary of beauty and mystery that held the keys to self-discovery and enlightenment. It was a world of enchantment and wonder, waiting to be explored by those willing to listen to its secrets. With each passing moment, Emily's connection to the forest deepened. She could almost hear the soft whispers of the guardians, feel the gentle caress of the forest's breath on her skin. It was as if the ancient trees themselves were imparting their knowledge, their wisdom flowing into her like a river of enlightenment. With newfound determination, Emily closed the ancient tome and placed it back on the pedestal. The golden light dimmed, but its warmth remained, wrapping her in a cocoon of tranquility. She had unlocked the forest's secrets, embraced its heart, and become a part of its story. Her journey was far from over, but Emily felt a profound sense of purpose and connection. She had uncovered the treasure that had eluded so many, a wealth of knowledge, a deep understanding of the forest, and a newfound strength within herself. As she stepped out of the chamber and into the subterranean tunnel, she knew that the forest had become her ally, its guardians her guides. The mysteries of Willowbrook's forbidden forest awaited her, and she was ready to face them with courage and reverence. With each step she took, the forest seemed to welcome her, its branches reaching out like old friends. Emily knew that her adventure had just begun, and she was eager to explore the enchanting world of the forest and uncover the wisdom it held. Emily emerged from the subterranean tunnel, her heart pounding with a newfound sense of purpose and connection to the forest. The Chamber of Knowledge had transformed her, and she now felt like a custodian of its secrets. The golden light had receded, leaving the forest in the soft, dappled light of early morning. Before her stood the massive oak tree, its gnarled branches reaching for the heavens. The forest seemed to have come alive, as if it recognized her as a kindred spirit, a guardian of its wisdom and a seeker of its mysteries. With reverence, Emily approached the ancient oak, her fingers tracing the grooves and ridges of its bark, as if seeking the tree's blessing. She felt a deep sense of gratitude to the forest, for it had bestowed upon her the gift of knowledge and the courage to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The final clue etched into the pedestal still burned in her memory. To unlock the treasure that you seek, embrace the heart of the forest and let your spirit speak. She realized that her journey was not yet complete, and she had to confront the guardian mentioned in the journal, a mysterious entity that guarded the treasure's true nature. Taking a deep breath, Emily closed her eyes and allowed herself to become one with the forest. She listened to the rustling leaves, the gentle sway of branches, and the distant calls of birds. It was as though the forest itself whispered guidance, a chorus of support from the ancient trees. When she opened her eyes, she felt a sense of calm and resolve. The time had come to confront the guardian, to embrace the heart of the forest, and to let her spirit speak. As she stepped closer to the ancient oak, a profound stillness settled over the clearing. It was as though the forest held its breath, awaiting the encounter between the guardian and the seeker. Emily could sense a presence, an otherworldly energy that surrounded the tree. Then, from the depths of the forest, a figure emerged, a luminous, ethereal being that seemed to materialize from the very air. It stood before Emily, its form fluid and ever-shifting, like a living embodiment of the forest's magic. The guardian's eyes, like pools of ancient wisdom, met Emily's gaze. There was no need for words, for in that moment, a silent understanding passed between them. The guardian was not here to obstruct her path, but to test her resolve and ensure that she was truly worthy of the forest's secrets. Emily nodded, a determined smile on her lips. With her spirit aflame, she accepted the guardian's unspoken challenge. It began by conjuring illusions, a swirling mist, spectral figures, and phantom voices that seemed to taunt and tease. But Emily's newfound connection to the forest gave her strength. She saw through the illusions, recognizing them for what they were, tests of her courage and determination. With each challenge she faced, her spirit spoke louder, her resolve grew stronger. The guardian continued to test her, creating obstacles that seemed insurmountable. Yet Emily pressed on, fueled by her unwavering belief in the forest's wisdom and the knowledge she had gained from the ancient tome. As the trials continued, Emily's spirit shone brighter, her connection to the forest deepened, and the guardian's demeanor shifted. It seemed to acknowledge her worthiness and the sincerity of her quest. The ethereal figure's form became more defined, and its eyes held a sense of approval. With a final, silent nod, the guardian stepped aside, allowing Emily to approach the ancient oak. She placed her hand upon the tree's gnarled bark, feeling a surge of energy pass between them. The tree seemed to resonate with her presence, and the forest whispered its approval. Emily had passed the guardian's tests, and in doing so, she had earned the forest's trust and the right to uncover the true treasure hidden within. With a sense of reverence, she closed her eyes once more and allowed herself to listen to the heartbeat of the forest, the ancient wisdom of the trees, and the secrets that awaited her. As she stood in that sacred clearing, Emily knew that her journey was far from over. The forest had become her ally, and she was ready to embrace the heart of the forest with open arms, ready to uncover the true nature of the treasure that had drawn her into its enchanting depths. The ancient oak seemed to exhale a sigh of approval as Emily stood before it, her hand pressed against the gnarled bark. The forest, once her unknown adversary, had become her ally. She felt a profound connection to the trees, the guardian, and the very heart of the forest itself. With her spirit attuned to the natural world, Emily closed her eyes and listened. The forest whispered its secrets, tales of ages past, the language of the wind, and the timeless wisdom of nature. It was as though the entire forest had become her teacher, imparting its knowledge with an open heart. As the minutes turned into hours, Emily's perception of the world around her expanded. She felt the gentle sway of the trees as they communicated with one another, the rhythmic pulse of the forest's heartbeat, and the subtle energy that flowed through the roots and branches. It was a symphony of life, a dance of existence that transcended human understanding. With her newfound awareness, Emily began to see the forest in a different light. Every tree, every leaf, every rock, and every creature held a story, a piece of the puzzle that was the forest's history and its wisdom. She realized that the treasure she had sought was not a physical entity, but a profound connection to the natural world. In that moment of revelation, Emily understood the journal's cryptic message: to unlock the treasure that you seek, embrace the heart of the forest, and let your spirit speak. The treasure was not something to be possessed, but a transformation of the self, a deep connection to the world around her, and the wisdom to see beauty and wonder in the ordinary. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Emily's connection to the forest deepened further. She felt as though she had become one with the ancient trees, her spirit intertwined with theirs. She understood the delicate balance of nature, the ebb and flow of life, and the interdependence of all living things. With each passing moment, Emily's transformation continued. She felt a sense of peace and contentment that she had never known before. Her doubts and fears had melted away, replaced by a profound sense of purpose and belonging. As she opened her eyes, the forest greeted her with a symphony of color and life. The leaves rustled in the gentle breeze, the birds sang their melodic songs, and the sunlight filtered through the canopy, creating a mosaic of dappled light on the forest floor. The guardian, now fully revealed in its luminous form, stood beside her with a sense of approval and kinship. It had tested her resolve and found her worthy, and in doing so, it had guided her toward a transformation of spirit. With a silent nod of gratitude to the guardian, Emily turned to leave the clearing. Her journey was not over, but she was no longer the quiet librarian bound by routine. She was a guardian of the forest's secrets, a seeker of wisdom, and a custodian of the natural world. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Emily felt a deep sense of reverence for the world around her. Every step she took was a celebration of life, every breath a communion with the ancient trees, and every moment an opportunity to embrace the heart of the forest. Her adventure had led her to a treasure more profound than she could have ever imagined, the transformation of her spirit and the wisdom of the natural world. With each step she took, Emily knew that she was walking a path of enlightenment, ready to face whatever challenges the forest still had in store. The forest whispered its approval, and the guardian's presence remained as a guiding light. Emily's journey had become a lifelong quest for understanding, a celebration of the beauty and wonder that surrounded her, and a testament to the transformative power of embracing the heart of the forest. With her spirit transformed and her connection to the forest deepened, Emily continued her journey through the heart of Willowbrook's forbidden forest. Each step she took was a dance with nature, and every moment brought a deeper understanding of the world around her. As the days turned into weeks, Emily encountered the forest's wonders and challenges in equal measure. She explored hidden groves, cascading waterfalls and ancient trees that held stories of generations long past. With each discovery, she felt a sense of awe and gratitude for the natural world. The forest had become her sanctuary, a place where she could commune with the spirits of nature, listen to the wisdom of the trees, and revel in the beauty of the world around her. It was a world untouched by the passage of time, a place of eternal wonder and enchantment. Yet Emily knew that her journey could not continue indefinitely. She had a responsibility to share the knowledge and wisdom she had gained with her fellow townsfolk. The forest's secrets were not hers alone to keep. They were a gift to be shared with the world. One morning, as the sun bathed the forest in its golden light, Emily made the decision to return to Willowbrook. She felt a sense of anticipation, knowing that her return would mark a new chapter in her life. She had been the quiet librarian bound by routine, the seeker of adventure, and the custodian of the forest's secrets. Now, she was ready to share the knowledge she had gained with her community. As she made her way back to the town, Emily noticed the subtle changes in her surroundings. The forest seemed to welcome her, its branches reaching out like old friends bidding her farewell. The guardian, ever present in its luminous form, stood at the forest's edge, a silent sentinel watching over her departure. When she reached the outskirts of Willowbrook, Emily was greeted by the familiar sights and sounds of the town. The festival preparations were in full swing, and the townsfolk were bustling about, their laughter and chatter filling the air. Emily's return did not go unnoticed. As she walked through the cobbled streets, she was met with curious glances and warm smiles. The townsfolk, who had known her as the quiet librarian, sensed a change in her, a newfound confidence and a sense of purpose that radiated from within. She made her way to the library where her journey had begun. The familiar building, with its stained glass windows and hushed atmosphere, felt like a sanctuary once more. As she stepped inside, she was greeted by the familiar scent of books and the quiet embrace of knowledge. Emily knew that the time had come to share the forest's secrets with her community. She had brought back not only the wisdom of the natural world, but also a deeper appreciation for the town's history and folklore. She began to organize lectures, workshops, and guided tours of the forest, inviting her fellow townsfolk to discover the enchanting world that had been hidden in plain sight. The response was overwhelming. The townsfolk, who had once feared the forbidden forest, now embraced it with a sense of wonder and reverence. They listened to Emily's stories of the guardian, the ancient trees, and the hidden treasures of the forest with rapt attention. As the Willowbrook festival approached, Emily stood before a gathered crowd, her words infused with the wisdom of the forest. She spoke of the transformative power of embracing the natural world, of the beauty that surrounded them, and of the connection that bound them all. The festival itself took on a new dimension, as the townsfolk celebrated not only their history and traditions, but also the world of nature that enveloped their town. Booths were adorned with handcrafted trinkets inspired by the forest, and homemade pies were baked with ingredients from the land. As the festival reached its peak, Emily stood at the edge of the forest, watching the townsfolk revel in the newfound connection to nature. The guardian, now a constant presence in the forest's border, stood silently, its luminous form a reminder of the transformation that had taken place. Emily knew that her journey was ongoing, that the forest's mysteries were endless, and that the natural world would continue to inspire and teach. But for now, she reveled in the joy of her community's newfound appreciation for the world around them. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over Willowbrook, Emily felt a profound sense of fulfillment. She had journeyed from the quiet librarian bound by routine to the guardian of the forest's secrets and the guide to her community's awakening. With a smile on her lips and a heart full of gratitude, Emily embraced the beauty and wonder of the world around her. She knew that the forest would always be her sanctuary, a place of enlightenment and transformation, and that her journey had only just begun. Years had passed since Emily's transformative journey through Willowbrook's forbidden forest. The town had undergone a remarkable transformation of its own, thanks to Emily's efforts to share the forest's secrets and wisdom with her community. The legacy of the midnight encounter had left an indelible mark on Willowbrook and its residents. Emily had become a beloved figure in the town, known not only as the librarian, but as the guardian of the forest's mysteries. She continued to lead guided tours into the forest, teaching others to embrace the heart of nature and discover the treasures it held. Her lectures and workshops were attended by townsfolk of all ages, each seeking their own connection to the enchanting world that surrounded them. The Willowbrook Festival had evolved into a celebration of both tradition and nature, a harmonious blend of the town's history and the world of the forest. Handcrafted trinkets inspired by the guardian and the ancient trees filled the festival booths, and the pies baked for the occasion were made with ingredients from the land. The guardian of the forest remained a silent sentinel, its luminous form a constant presence at the forest's edge. It continued to watch over the town and the natural world, a symbol of the enduring connection between the two. As the years went by, Emily's own journey had taken her deeper into the heart of the forest. She had uncovered new secrets, forged new connections with the guardian and the ancient trees, and continued to learn from the world of nature. Her adventures were chronicled in a series of journals, each filled with tales of wonder and wisdom. The legacy of the midnight encounter extended far beyond Willowbrook. People from neighboring towns and cities came to seek Emily's guidance and to experience the transformative power of the forest for themselves. Emily had become a beacon of inspiration, a testament to the possibility of change and growth. The natural world flourished around Willowbrook as the townsfolk learned to coexist with the forest and to care for the land that had been their home for generations. The town had become a model of environmental stewardship and a living testament to the beauty and wonder of the world around them. As Emily stood at the edge of the forbidden forest, watching the sun dip below the horizon, she felt a profound sense of gratitude and fulfillment. Her journey had not only transformed her life, but had also touched the lives of countless others. The forest had become a source of enlightenment, a sanctuary of wonder, and a reminder of the importance of embracing the heart of nature. The legacy of the midnight encounter would continue to inspire generations to come. Emily knew that her role as guardian of the forest's secrets was ongoing, and that the natural world would always have lessons to teach and mysteries to reveal. With a heart full of reverence and a spirit of adventure, Emily stepped into the forest once more, ready to embrace the wonders of the world around her. The midnight encounter had become a timeless tale, a reminder of the power of transformation and a celebration of the beauty and wisdom of the natural world. And so, as the forest whispered its secrets and the guardian stood as a silent sentinel, Emily's journey continued, a testament to the enduring legacy of the midnight encounter and the infinite possibilities that awaited those who dared to embrace the heart of the forest.